Hi guys, welcome back to watching Nelly Doing Things. I am back to actually do something a little bit different today. We are going to be talking about the Twilight Zone. Also, like before, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, which is Nelly Doing Things. And let's get right on into it. So today we're going to be talking about is the Twilight Zone. Oh yes, oh yes. So this Twilight Zone saga, if you guys haven't heard about Twilight Zone, you're about to know now. Because Twilight Zone is the best all year long. You can watch it. They have it all on Netflix. You can stream it for however long. And it's just, they have so many seasons. I think they have 4 seasons on there. Twilight Zone does open up your mind, guys. That's one thing I like a lot about Twilight Zone. So the episode we're going to be talking about is the After Hours. So this story starts off by a lady named Marsha White. Marsha White is out shopping in a department store. You know, she's going around, she's getting her stuff right. She's walking around this department store and she's waiting at the elevator just like the other ladies, right? And when she's in the women's department, an elevator pops open that is right side of her. And there is a guy in there that says, "Going up one, ma'am?" So she, of course, she turns around like, "Oh, okay." So when she gets in the elevator with the elevator guy, she's like, "Oh, I must be a lucky one. There was everyone waiting for an elevator, but you called me." Suspicioso. He asks her, what are you looking for, ma'am? And pretty much she says, "Oh, a gold thimble for her mother." Very random. I guess the mother sews, I assume. So he takes her up. He's, "Oh, that would be specialty items, I believe." So he ends up taking her to the 9th floor. And when she gets up there, he just says, okay, he lets her off. She gets off in the elevator. And so she's walking around kind of looking, and it looks like it's an abandoned. And I would have been like, I'm out of here. This is not right. I would have ran back to the elevator before he closed the door. So literally she is walking around and it's kind of just nothing there. And then there is some lady with the highest collar I've ever seen in my whole entire life, y'all. My whole entire life. Like that coat, dress, situation, whatever you want to call it, is the best. And she's kind of like, "Well, can I help you, ma'am?" And I'm just like, that's not creepy at all, is it? No one's creeped out? Okay. And the lady already comes out weird, like staring at her kind of like this, kind of like coming up like, okay. And I'm like, you're weird. We gotta get out of here. Marsha tells the lady that came up and asked her, "You need any help?" She tells the lady with the high fabulous collar on her jacket or whatever that dress thing is. And she pretty much tells her that I am looking for a thimble, gold thimble for my mother. So when she goes to get it, the lady literally opens, walks over. And again, weird, very creepy, right? Very creep vibes. Girl, I would have been up out of there. She's too weird for me. I would have said, I gotta go. Never mind, I don't need a thimble that bad. The lady is like legitly like, oh, she opens up the counter, and then right at the counter, it literally is one gold thimble in like a ring box. It is by itself. Only one in the counter, in the middle of the counter, and she's like opens up the the case to get out like it's like the most expensive ring ever. And she's telling her like, "Oh, that's $22.80 minus tax," and so it ends up being $25 flat. $25 for a 4-karat gold thimble? That's one thing though back then. I mean, compared to now, it's like that $25, girl, give me 25 of them. Shoot, that'd be an investment later on. So she grabs it, she buys it. And the lady doesn't give her a receipt, nothing, right? She says, kind of weird, it's kind of odd that, you only have this up here. And when she's helping her with the gold thimble, y'all, literally the lady was like, "What's wrong, Marsha?" So she's still talking and telling her, well, this, well, that. And, it's weird. I got in the elevator, blah, blah. And then she like stops and she said, "You just called me Marsha." She said, "Oh, I'm sorry for being so forward of me." Forward of you? How would you? And that's what she looked at her like, "How do you know my name?" Like, hold on, forget the forward. Hold on. Let's get the present. Let's not fast forward rewind just yet. How did you know my name is Marsha? Marsha Lee's getting really freaked out now. So she's like, okay, I'm bouncing out of here. And then when Marsha's leaving, she's like, "Are you happy? Are you happy, Marsha?" And I'm like, oh. After she says, "Are you happy?" Marsha's like, "I don't think that's any of your business." And I was like, oh. The lady catches an attitude. She even had a little laugh. She's like, "Oh, excuse me." So after she kind of gets in this argument with this lady, then the lady's like, she said, come back anytime. I said, oh, she told her to bye then, right? So Marsha gets out of there, gets on the elevator. And when she gets in the elevator, because the guy's like going down, he comes back to that floor. So she gets on the elevator and she's like, yeah, she's like, they only had a thimble, one item on that whole store. You need to call the department, because how they just have one item on one floor. But what I noticed is the elevator guy, like, he's like impatient and annoyed. Like, he's totally different from the first time she got in the elevator with him. And I'm like, okay, something else getting deeper, something else is going on here. She's on there with him and she was saying, oh, this thing is scratched. The guy in the elevator says, you know, 3rd floor is complaints. Like, he's completely like different now. So he's just kind of like, 3rd floor complaints, get out. And I'm like, ooh. And then it cuts to a guy by the name of Mr. Ambrewster. Hopefully I'm saying it right. Crazy name, right? Ambrewster. Mr. Ambrewster. He is the manager of this so-called department store. Mr. Ambrewster, he is talking to Mr. Sloan, which is his boss. And he's telling her all about that. She's, you know, she's complaining about this thimble and blah, blah, blah and all that. And just a side note, this brings me back onto retail, because y'all, if y'all know on this channel, I have worked in retail pretty much almost all my life. The moment I'm not, thank God. I could not possibly imagine working back then in retail. Oh, hell no. I just could never. Back onto the story. He pretty much, the Mr. Sloan guy to Mr. Ambrose, he was like, you know, he said, I'm fine. I'm just gonna go talk to her. I was like, yeah, you're the big boss. Get your butt out there and do what you need to do, okay? She said, I want, you know, this is what's going on with my thimble and blah, 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 blah. And he said, okay. He said, well, he said, ma'am, I'm sorry to inform you. He said, but we do not have a 9th one. Because she tried, it's so funny too. It's like, she's really entitled too. She's just like, and I already told him that. And blah, 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 blah. You know, those, oh, Jesus Christ, those kind of people. She said, well, it was a lady that was helping me there. And so she looks over their shoulder and said, oh, there she is. And then she's all like, well, miss. And literally, she's like, well, miss you. And then she like stops. And then it was a guy that comes up, like, I guess a mover or whatnot. And he picks her up like it's nothing. And she looks like, oh my God. And he turns her around and she is a mannequin. I was like, what? And I know the first time I seen that, like, she was literally, oh my God, oh my God. That was that traditional, you know, horror back in the, you know, black and white days. I love it. It was perfect. It was classic. So she realized the lady she was talking to the whole time was a mannequin. Twilight Zone. And then she pretty much, she's so hysterical. She passes out, right? Yeah, they do that all the time, especially back then. They're just like, I can't live. Oh my God, I'm scared. Oh, she has gone through some things. They have her laid out. Well, she has herself laid out, that is. They have her, you know, she passed out, so they have her laid out back there. I'm gonna do my liner real quick, y'all, because I can't talk and do this at the same time. So pretty much she wakes up around 6 p.m.-ish. You know, this is department stores. They be closing, girl, back then. They said, girl, bye, good night, going home. So she ends up on the 5th floor. This is where she wakes up at. So apparently, I guess they let her rest there, I guess. And crazy thing is, though, I believe they closed the mall. So it's like, how's she supposed to get out? Or the department store. How is she supposed to get out? She's like, oh, she goes up to the door and like, okay, I seem to be locked in here. I want to go. I want to go home. I want to get out. And when she's walking around, there's a few mannequins where she's at. And I said, this is when it's gonna get real creepy. Pretty much after that, she walks past this mannequin and the lady has like a purse, right? The mannequin has a purse on and it shifts and moves and starts swinging like this a little bit. She's like, whoa, you know, it freaks her out. I'm thinking the same thing. I'd be like, girl, I'm scared. She's like, I'm up out of here. This mannequin is moving. She bumps into a mannequin of a guy. And I don't know if y'all can assume where I'm going with this. But yes, she knocks over a mannequin, like a full mannequin, hits like a dud, like boop, the mannequin falls. She knocks over a mannequin, she sees it's the elevator guy. Y'all. So when she's backing up, having her episode, freaking out like, why is that guy? Why was that lace purse moving? What's going on? What's going on? It's all freaking her out, right? She starts hearing all these mannequins that are around in that area. So if y'all got fears of mannequins or dolls or stuff, y'all probably not want to watch this because it's freaky. She's hearing all these mannequins sit there and say, Marsha, who do you think you are? You know, who do you think you're fooling, Marsha? Come on. I love that. Come off it. Calling her on her own bluff. What are you acting like this for? Why are you acting a muck? So she's like freaking out. This is where she hysterically is crying and backing up and oh my god. Then randomly again, the elevator opens. Oh my god, and she gets in the elevator, she's crying in there. The elevator goes to the 9th floor. And she's hysterically in there crying and just hit any button to get away. Takes her automatically to the 9th floor again. Ha ha. No surprise, she can't get away. When she opens up, the elevators open up to the 9th floor, guess who pops out? The lady. The lady pops out and she said, oh, Marsha. Marsha, she said, look at you in here. She said, behaving like a child. You know, she crying about it. The lady brings her into the 9th floor. She's walking with the lady and she's bringing Marsha in. The lady's like, come on, child. Crying little baby, little child. But all the mannequins are like all posed up like this. All posed up, right? And then when she's walking past them, one by one, each of them are just like, okay, they're alive, and they start walking behind her. Y'all, that part was dope. I said, no ma'am. And I'm like, what we gonna do is not come alive like that, because that's creepy. We're scared in this household, you know what I mean? And then she starts looking around when all of them are looking at her and they're all like, Marsha. Like, it's so like, nee. Twilight Zone. The creepiest thing ever is when they literally have these two ski mask people, like a girl and a guy, I guess. And I guess they're supposed to be the models for the winter time. Literally, they're both standing there in a full ski mask. If I can find a picture, I'm gonna try to pop it up, y'all. Literally a full ski mask, and they're just like, Marsha. I'm like, what? That would scare me, a mannequin or not. Like, I would be like, that's still scary. So like, could you not do that? So they come gather around her, and then when she's looking up and seeing them, she starts saying, you know, the lady with the high fabulous collar. She starts saying to her, okay, Marsha, try to remember. Concentrate, Marsha. And then she start looking at her like, oh my goodness, girl. Like, you know, then she finally realized that Marsha is a mannequin. Out of all of this, I felt like we knew this was coming, but it's like, Marsha. She's very, very entitled. Very much like, what are you talking about? So after, you know, Marsha come down to her terms and realize, girl, I ain't even real. I'm fake the whole time. They let Marsha know, all the mannequins around, especially the lady with the high fabulous collar. I'm gonna keep saying her collar's fabulous because it is. You have 1 month. They have 1 month every time to go out and be like a human, a normal human being. The lady with the high fabulous collar says, and my day started yesterday. So if y'all go back to how she was looking at her, and she's looking at her like she's twitching. She's like, girl. And literally she realizes, oh my goodness, that's why you were telling her, are you happy? And you know, oh, none of my business. You know how she was so upset because she using up her time. Every once a year, they all get just a month to go out and they switch turns. And it was about 10 of those mannequins. So it's like 10 pretty much all year long. They all get once a month, once a year. So she's out there and I guess she's just forgetting stuff. So the lady starts saying, well, it's okay, Marsha, you'll get time to remember all of it. So she's like, au revoir, everyone, au revoir. She's going to the elevator, the lady with the high fabulous collar, and she's going about her way. And she's gonna go get her month. And she's gonna suck up the most time that she can since Marsha took up one of her days. And everyone's like, oh, have a great time, bye. Like she's going on a cruise, like, farewell, darling. And just, it's a lovely event. My blush is cracked. And Marsha's standing there and the elevator guy comes up beside her, right? He's down there too, you know, he ain't real. Did you enjoy yourself? Did you have fun, Marsha? You know, she answers back, ever so much fun. Ever so much fun. It's so dramatic. I love it. I live it. It's great. And then little by little, as the frame changes, she ends up putting her hands up like this. She's just like, huh, back into formation. So it cuts to the Mr. Weasel, or Mr. Ambrose, aka Weasel Man, and he's walking around downstairs in his department store, which is open the next day. He's telling all the girls, chop, 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 get in line, it'll sell. And like, one of those annoying, like, those type of managers, just freaking annoying and always in people's business, trying to break it up. And it's like, shut up. He's like a creepy Weasley kind of man. Like he's, you know, telling women what to wear, you know, the weirdo kind of ones. Now he walks past one particular mannequin. You guessed it. It is Marsha White. He literally looks at us on the camera watching him. And he's like, girl. And he's legitly like, you know, girl, I gotta go. And he just like walks out of frame. That to me is the funniest ending ever. So guys, this is the final look I got for Marsha White. I thought of doing a cute little look after her since she was the one that was so distraught. I just thought it was cute to just do a look off of kind of her hair, her makeup, what I believe her makeup looked like, because again, it was black and white, y'all. This is my own perception off of what I believe her look may have looked like, but I think I got the liner down. So at the end, the narrator, which I think he kind of handsome too, at the end he says, Marsha White, wooden lady, painted face. 1 month a year, she can go out and play, pretty much be a human. Makes you wonder who you're saying hello to and nodding to in the streets. Are they real or are they not quite real? Easy. That makes you wonder. It does make you wonder who you're walking around, who you're near. You never know who you may be walking past. Stay safe, people, by the way. I actually like this series, guys. I hope you guys liked it too. Do you guys feel like you're more a Marsha White, or do you feel like you're more of a human? Again, thank you for watching me, which is Nelly Doing Things. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to hit a comment below. I want to hear Marsha White, or are you a real human? And also don't forget to hit that notification button while you're down there as well. You guys already know what I'm about to say. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Bye.